He walked in barefoot, 7 years old, maybe 8, the kind of kid who already looked older than some men. He held 7 crumpled dollar bills like they were a weapon. "Will you kill my stepdad for me?" he asked. Every diesel-stained head in the truck stop turned. Forks stopped midair. A jukebox light flickered. The room froze. The biggest man there, name stitched on his vest, Buck, slowly stood up from his stool. He knelt to the boy's level. "What's your name, son?" "Tyler." "Tyler, where's your mom?" "She's home. He's been drinking again. Said he's gonna kill her tonight." Buck's jaw flexed. Around him, 20 truckers shifted in silence, the air heavy as rain before a storm. The kid's cheek was swollen. His lips split. His hands shook, but his eyes didn't. "Where do you live, Tyler?" "Blue trailer, end of Maple Road." Buck knew that place. Everyone did. Cops avoided it. Meth labs, dogfights, desperate people. He took the $7 from Tyler's trembling hand and stared at them. "You walked here alone?" Tyler nodded. 2 miles. Buck's voice came out rough. "You asked us to kill him." The boy blinked, confused. "Ain't that what you do?" A low rumble of anger passed through the room. More heartbreak than fury. Buck stood up, those 7 bills still in his palm. "Not tonight, kid." "Not how you think." He turned to the others. "Gear up. Nobody's dying tonight, but this ends." The truckers rose like a wave, grabbing jackets, flashlights, and quiet rage. Engines roared to life in the parking lot, diesel thunder rolling out into the night. Tyler climbed into Buck's rig, a tiny silhouette against the chrome. The truck's headlights cut through the fog like purpose itself. The convoy rolled out slow, engines growling low like thunder under control. 15 rigs, headlights burning through the fog, each driver knowing this wasn't just another night. It was Judgment Night. The kind that doesn't make the news, only memories. Buck drove lead. Tyler sat beside him in the passenger seat, wrapped in a flannel that swallowed him whole. He kept one hand on the dashboard, like touching metal meant safety. "You ever been in a truck before?" Buck asked quietly. Tyler shook his head. "My stepdad said truckers were trash." Buck's eyes stayed on the road. "Then your stepdad don't know much about men." The CB crackled with low voices. "Blue trailer, Maple Road. Lights are off," came the report from Diesel Dan, tailing close behind. "Any cops?" "None yet." "Good," Buck said. "Then we handle it right." Maple Road appeared like a scar through the fog. Potholes, burnt grass, a swing set hanging from one chain. When the truck stopped, the night went dead quiet, too quiet. Buck stepped down first, flashlight in one hand, the boy's $7 in the other. The other drivers spread out, boots crunching gravel, eyes scanning windows. Then came the sound, a woman screaming. Short, choked. Tyler froze. "That's Mom!" Buck ran. The door to the trailer hung loose on one hinge. Inside, chaos. A man in a torn undershirt swinging a bottle, shouting slurs. A woman curled in the corner, bleeding from her forehead. Buck didn't shout, didn't rush. He walked straight in and took the bottle out of the man's hand like taking a toy from a child. The man swung again, sloppy with booze. Buck caught his wrist midair, twisted slow, deliberate. Something popped. The man dropped to his knees. "This your stepdad?" Buck asked the boy, who stood trembling in the doorway. Tyler nodded once. Buck leaned down close to the man's ear. "You ever raise that hand again, I'll take it from you." He released him, not out of mercy, but principle. The other truckers were already inside, patching the mother's wounds, clearing bottles off the floor, talking to her. Gentle. Buck handed Tyler's mom the $7. "Your boy bought himself an army tonight." Her tears came then, not from fear, but relieved. Police sirens echoed in the distance. Someone had called it in. Buck turned to his crew. We're ghosts before they get here, but the kid's staying safe. Where? With me, Buck said, till his mama's clear. The trucks peeled out one by one, leaving nothing but tire marks and silence. Behind them, a woman breathed for the first time in years. Beside Buck, the boy slept, finally safe enough to do so. Morning broke, gray and mean, like the world hadn't decided yet if it believed in mercy. Buck's rig sat parked behind the diner off Route 12, the kind of place where every waitress knows which men eat alone. Tyler woke, curled in the sleeper cab, eyes wide and confused until he saw Buck. "You didn't take me to jail?" he asked softly. Buck shook his head. "You ain't the criminal, son." The door opened. Sheriff McCready stepped up onto the running board, hat in hand. He was one of the few lawmen who knew Buck's crew by name and by reputation. "I heard your trucks were seen out on Maple last night," the sheriff said. "Could be," Buck answered. "You know that trailer's a crime scene now. Then maybe a crime finally stopped happening there." The sheriff exhaled, looking past Buck to where Tyler sat, bruises fading blue to yellow. "Boy's mother's at county. She told me everything. Said the old man's in jail with his arm busted up." "Good," Buck said flatly. "She also said a group of truckers showed up before the cops did. Scared the hell out of half the neighborhood." Buck met his eyes. Sometimes fear's the only language evil understands. McCready stared at him for a long time, then nodded toward the truck. "Social Services wants to take the kid. You got a problem with that?" "Yeah," Buck said. He's had enough strangers deciding his fate for one lifetime." The sheriff looked away, rubbed his jaw, then lowered his voice. "My sister runs the emergency foster program in Amarillo. She's clean, good people. She said she'll take both, the mother and the boy. I'll drive them myself." Buck studied the sheriff's face, searching for the lie, and found none. He reached into his jacket and pulled out the $7 bills, folded neat. "Give her these," he said. "Tell her it's from the boy's first job paying off a debt he never owed." The sheriff took the money and nodded. "Buck, I know what you and your boys did. You walked the line and didn't cross it. That's rare." Buck shrugged. "Lines only matter when you draw them yourself." Tyler climbed down from the cab. He hugged Buck's leg without warning, face buried against the denim. "Thank you for not killing him," the boy whispered. Buck's throat tightened. "Ain't what we do, son. We protect, that's all." The sheriff led Tyler to his cruiser. The boy turned once, hand pressed to the window as the car pulled away. The rigs rumbled to life behind Buck, one after another, their engines sounding less like machines and more like a promise. By sundown, the story had already spread from diner to depot, how a convoy of truckers stopped a beating without firing a shot. Some called it rumor, others called it proof that good men still drive long roads. 15 years later, the Iron Horse truck stop hadn't changed much. Same flickering neon sign, same smell of diesel and black coffee. Only thing new was the framed glass case above the counter. Inside it, 7 wrinkled dollar bills. A man stepped through the door, tall now, broad-shouldered, the kind of calm that comes from surviving storms. Tyler, 22. Clean hands, steady eyes. He nodded to the waitress, then to the old man in the corner booth nursing his pie. Buck. Buck looked up slow, grin tugging at one corner of his mouth. "Heard a rumor you bought yourself a rig." "First one," Tyler said, sliding into the booth. "Named her Mercy." Buck's laugh was gravel and pride. "Good name. Reminds you what kind of strength matters." They sat a while in silence, the hum of truck engines outside filling the space. Finally, Tyler nodded toward the frame above the counter. "You kept 'em." "Couldn't throw away the first honest deal I ever made," Buck said. "Kid pays $7, gets a family." Tyler's eyes softened. "Mom's good now. Works at the diner in Amarillo. Got her smile back." "Tell her she still owes me a slice of that peach pie," Buck said. pretending not to be emotional. Tyler smiled. You ever think about that night? Every time I pass Maple Road, Buck said. We all got crossroads that keep asking who we are. Outside, the sunset bled across the horizon, turning the chrome on the rigs to molten gold. A younger driver leaned against his truck, pointing at the frame through the window. Is it true? He asked. Those the dollars from the Maple Road kid? Buck turned to Tyler. You want to tell him? Tyler nodded, stepped outside, and spoke loud enough for every driver on the lot to hear. Those $7 weren't for killing a man, he said. They were for saving a family. For teaching me that monsters don't get buried, they get stopped. And real men don't run from the dark. They drive straight into it with their lights on. A long silence followed, heavy with respect. Engines started up again, one by one, each rumble an amen. Back inside, Buck refilled his coffee and watched Tyler walk toward his rig. The kid paused, hand on the door, and looked back. Huh, you were right, he said. About what? Truckers ain't trash. They're the good side of dangerous. Then he climbed in, started the engine, and pulled on to the open road. The taillights faded into the night, red and steady, like a promise being kept. Above the counter, the $7 stayed framed, a reminder carved in glass and diesel smoke. Some angels don't wear wings. They drive 18 wheels.